Welcome to Emotionally Baked, where emotions and baking are the two most perfect ingredients. Hello, and welcome back to the Emotionally Baked podcast, where we bake something yummy, all while talking about our feelings and just working it all out together. So thank you for joining me today. I am so happy you're here on this next episode. A lot of little fun things today. So today's episode is called Fear and Fluffy Japanese Cotton Cupcakes. I know that's a mouthful, but hold on. Okay, well, I kind of have fear about this recipe today because there's a lot of steps and a lot of things that probably could go wrong and probably will go wrong. I'm making this for dinner tonight, so I'm hopeful that family forgives me if it goes wrong. But there's a lot of separation, like I have to separate eggs, which is always tricky. Then I have to whip eggs, which is like egg whites, which is always tricky. And yeah, I already have some stuff happening back here. So the recipe is from NicoleRecipe.com, and it seems face value easy enough, but I'm a little scared because first I am melting down butter, sour cream, and milk in this pot. Then I have sugar and lemon juice in this bowl, favorite bowl, which I've got to put egg yolks in. Then this one, I have just plain sugar that I'm going to put egg whites in that need to be beat. And then we're going to have to mix them together in ways. So I've got to get ready and prepared and not be fearful of doing this. I can do it. I'm going to try. So anyways, got a couple of things to show you. I'm going to be drinking some sparkling water today out of a mug. Woo. Now, if you're just watching or just listening to this podcast, you cannot see the wonderfulness that is the mug. It is a mug I designed. I am so excited. So this is a mug that says Emotionally Baked with the favorite bowl. The favorite bowl. I'm so excited. On the back it says, where baking and emotions are the two most perfect ingredients. Oh, isn't that so cute? So this is a first one of my little things that I have created. I am super excited. Yay. So there's that. Okay. I'm going to start this recipe. Well, I've already started that part of it boiling. I'm going to start with separating the eggs. Thank you, chickens. This is always so hard. So I'm more confident in putting the egg whites in a bowl than I am doing separating the yolk first. So I'm going to do that. As we talk about fear, I don't know about you, but sometimes when I first started baking, cracking eggs, I was definitely afraid of cracking eggs. I definitely didn't want to get eggs everywhere or shell in the egg. So we're going to just let that yolk drop. Whee! So fear is an interesting topic because I think fear can span a lot of, should I say, it can span to a lot of what goes on in our lives. We can have your basic fear, like fear of cracking eggs. We can definitely have larger fears. I was actually at a museum with my husband this week, and there was a sculpture that was 16 feet in the ground, and they had to have a security guard walk with you because there was no railing around the edge of the sculpture, so they didn't want anybody to fall. And I had a slight fear of that height, like being close to an edge or something. So I don't necessarily know if I have a fear of heights. It's just fear of like on the edge of a precipice or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't like that. So anyway, yeah. So, and there can be, like the, big fears, small fears, fear of not accomplishing something, fear of, dangerous situations. I feel like fear can very much span a lot. It doesn't have to just be one, specific lumped in group. That egg white looks like a booger. Oh my goodness, and it's not coming off. And if you ever have problems, you can cut your yolks with the edge of your eggshell. It works out pretty well. It's pretty sharp. So most of it's coming off, but we'll put that over there. Ugh, yuck. Some of that, sometimes that can be disgusting. Okay, one last egg. So I don't know if I've told this story before. I'm sorry if I have, but I wanted to tell a story about something that I'm afraid of. Okay, maybe we'll do a couple of things. The physical fear that I'm afraid of, and then maybe an irrational one. So one that's actually tangible, physical, and then maybe an irrational fear. All right, so I'm going to take a pause, get the bowl situated, which ones I'm going to do first. Yes, and then we'll continue. Okay, so when I was young, when I was about 5 years old, I went on a trip with my family to the Everglades in Florida. If you don't know the Everglades in Florida, it's a kind of swampy, lake-ish type of area that has these big trees that grow out of the ground that are, now I can't remember the name of them. My mind just went blank. They're really cool and interesting trees. I'll have to look up what they're called. And boardwalks through the water. This is back when I was 5, y'all. So it was in the 80s. And a lot of wildlife, especially alligators. Okay, so I was walking along the boardwalk with my family. Remember, I was 5, and I wasn't the best of swimmers. I don't think I had tons of lessons at that point. I just don't remember. I don't remember very much. I remember being totally in fear, terrified. But anyways, about what was to happen. So I have a twin brother, and my twin brother was walking with me, and he said something to me like, look, Heather, there was these oranges. It looks like somebody had just thrown like a bag of oranges into the water, and they were floating in the water. And he was like, hey, go reach out and grab one. And silly me, I did. I reached out and tried to grab one. Now, at that time, the boardwalks did not have railings. So it was literally just flat planks of wood over the water. I don't know anymore. I haven't been back. I am that afraid. Like, I have not been back in 44 years. No, 39. Oh, goodness. Anyways, so when I reached over to grab one of these oranges, like I thought I was, but you take a dare from your twin brother, like, hello. So I fell in and wasn't the best swimmer, flailing all about, little kid. And I'm not sure proximity, but there were alligators in the water, not necessarily right by me, but they were there somewhere-ish. A family member did pull me out of the water, and I was okay, other than being severely traumatized. And to this day, I have a fear of alligators. Now, I don't know if it's rational or irrational. Nothing attacked me, nothing got me, nothing, physical besides the trauma happened to me. But I guess it is the association of they were there and it could have happened, and that fear has stuck with me my entire life. All right, so this is the mixture that was on the stove. This is the cream cheese, butter, and milk, and it's not cooling down very fast. I thought if I would take it out of there and put it in here, it would cool down. I just don't want to make scrambled eggs because I have my eggs in here, and if you put hot stuff with eggs and not watch it, it could scramble the eggs. So it's not terribly hot, but it's not terribly cooled either. So I'm kind of debating what to do because I don't want to mess this up. Because we have to be very careful with our steps. So in the meantime, while I'm waiting for it to cool, I'm going to whip the egg whites into soft peaks. Okay, so I've whipped them into soft peaks, and if you don't know what, it's not like it's like the peak just kind of, oh, sorry, wrong way. The peak just kind of flops over. It's not like if you do stiff peaks, the egg whites are almost glossy. These are not glossy. These are just, they've been fluffed, and there you go. All right, so still not cool. I don't know. Just debating. Maybe I should stick it in the refrigerator. But then again, All right. Well, I'm just going to go for it. After I pour this into here, I'm going to sift my dry ingredients. And then I have to read about what I'm doing with the egg whites, because the egg whites are a little scary. But I'm going to stir this all the while so I don't make scrambled eggs, because I don't want that. So I've got to stir this, kind of break up some of the, okay. Oh, hopefully this works. This recipe does make me very afraid that I'm not going to accomplish what this is. So, getting this whisked. Now I'm going to put the dry ingredients in here and whisk this again. Cross your fingers. So I'm not quite sure if my alligator story is a legitimate fear. I've just always known, I've just had this fear, I don't, if there's an alligator exhibit, I walk the other way. If there's, alligators in me, I just, even, toys or, just things that are silly, I just have, a quick aversion to it. I'm like, oh, no, I'm afraid. So I'm pretty sure that's maybe it's a legit fear. Maybe an irrational fear. Okay, so I'm supposed to fold it. Sorry, I can't ever not say fold it in. I just have to say it. Fold in the cheese. Okay, a little bit of this, and then we'll do the rest of it. So whenever I fold in, I like to use a rubber spatula. It's just easier. So I'm just going to just gently fold this in. An irrational fear or irrational fear. I don't know how to categorize these, but I'm the fear of failing. The fear of failing is pretty rational, I think. The fear of, I have that fear all the time, a fear of failing. Just a fear of, I have a fear of losing everything all at once. Like, I have a fear of losing either all my family or, you know, it just, yeah, and I think those are, I don't know if they're, I mean, what are we categorizing irrational and irrational? You know, I think fear is fear. We get afraid of we're afraid of something, and it sticks with you, you know, that fear can, if you let it. So that's the caveat. It sticks with you if you let it. And I think the biggest thing is to let go. Like, I've had over the years, I've really tried to let go of that fear of alligators. I've tried to let it go. I've tried to, like, I even tried to pet one once. It was like a little one. It was like one of those little baby caiman, is that what they're called? Things. It was at I don't remember what it was at, but I think it was like a Renaissance fair. And you can touch it if you want. And, you know, I was very petrified. And I tried. I think I maybe got a finger touch in. I don't know. So I'm working on that fear. And I think if we let our fears overtake us too much, overwhelm us too much, be in the forefront and not, you know, something that we tell ourselves, you know, if we keep telling ourselves, I'm afraid of that, or I'm afraid of that, it will stunt us from our growth in all things. Like, it'll stunt us from growing as a person, and it will just, you know, we can't let it sit too long. Those fears sit too long before they inevitably start to kind of, you know, mess with the good that we have going on, that we're working on with ourselves. It's like a balance, you know. Like, you know how they say that term, it's a healthy fear? Like, sometimes you want, you know, there's a healthy fear of certain dangers, or like heights or this or that, because it'd be dumb for me. It would have been dumb for me to walk to the edge of that. I wouldn't have been able to anyways, the edge of that sculpture, because there was a police guy there. He wouldn't have let you anyways. But I'm just saying, like, have a healthy fear of things, so that you know, that there are things that you should have a healthy fear of to keep safe. Like, I'm not gonna walk up to an alligator and be like, I'm not afraid of you anymore. No, I'm not gonna do that. And I don't think anybody would, unless you're somebody who's capable. I don't think you would walk right up to a dangerous animal and just ha in their face. Maybe people do. I don't know. This is done. I'm going to put it in the muffin tins. Yeah. So, we gotta be careful. But yeah, no. Healthy fear is good. But having too much fear over something, I think that we can help, or that we can be helped by, you know, like if we can, you know, help manage a fear, or if we can help ourselves learn from a fear that we have, that is best, right? I think so. I have a lot of this batter. I don't know if it was supposed to make this much. I'm pretty sure it said it only made 12 muffins, but I have a ton of it. So I don't know. I might need to make more. I'm not quite sure. But it's making a lot. Maybe it makes 18. I didn't necessarily see exactly how much it made, but I've definitely filled up all my muffin tins, so I'm not sure. Yeah, there's quite a bit of batter left. And they're pretty full. I mean, do I fill them all the way? I've had this happen with recipes before. I don't know about you, but I have had this happen with multiple times with recipes, where it says it only makes this much. And I'm like, well, I have a ton left over. Like, I've already filled it, or I've already done, what you've said. And I don't understand sometimes. Like, I don't know if is it just my baking pans that aren't enough, or I don't know. I honestly don't know. So I'm going to just fill these up just a little bit more. I just get afraid of doing that because we'll see. Okay. And since I'm probably going to do another pan, I want to make sure I get these in both at the same time because you don't want to open the oven. They only take 20 minutes to bake. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and put the rest of this in another tin, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, well, those are in the oven, and we're just going to let them do their thing. And we're going to cross our fingers because this one was a little tense, I feel like, with the egg whites and the whipping and the folding. Whenever I have to whip egg whites and fold them into something and make it into something, I get a little nervous. So we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. I always want something to turn out looking like the picture that's posted. Half the time it does, half the time it doesn't. I'll be honest, I don't know. It doesn't terribly usually look like the exact picture. It looks okay, not exact. Okay, so yeah. I think having healthy fears are good. Having fear about things is normal. And trying to get over our fears is good. Does that all make sense? I don't know if that didn't make sense to me. It made kind of sense. We should have healthy fears. It just helps us to be safe in life. Having fears, like fear of spiders or fears of heights or fears of elevators or alligators, they're normal. It's normal to have those things. It's normal to go through life fearing some things because, we're just human and nobody's invincible. And trying to work on our fears and trying to overcome them is something we should all strive to do. Whether it takes your whole life. It's interesting, speaking of fears that have kind of last for a while. I know Chris's grandfather had a fear of driving over the Bay Bridge. I don't know if you know, the area I live in is the Maryland, D.C., Virginia area, and there is a massive bridge that spans from the coast, the inner Chesapeake Bay, to the eastern shore, which is the other side of Maryland. So it crosses the Chesapeake Bay. And it's a very big bridge. It's very tall, very long. And they actually do have somebody that will, if you do not want to drive over, if it is your fear that you don't want to drive over the bridge, they have somebody stationed on either side who will drive you over, and drive your car over, like you in it over. It's totally valid because that is a scary bridge. That is a scary bridge. So, yeah. So I hope if there's something on your heart or on your mind that you're afraid of or you're in fear of this week, that we can take a minute, take a deep breath, and remember that, don't be afraid. We've got this, and that there are many things that we can do to help, let go of our fears, to help manage them. And a lot of things that I do, I stay away from the things that I do stay away from the things that I am afraid of, let's say. But I try not, like if my family jokes with me about one of my things I'm afraid of. Like if they joke with me about alligators, I don't get defensive. I don't get upset. At least I try not to. And I'm getting better at it. Like I'm getting better about joking about it. Just like, okay, you know. But yeah, like managing the fears that, you know, the ones that we can manage and work on. I constantly have to be reading inspirational things and the Bible and just constantly, you know, praying about the fears that I do have. And that helps me to get through the times where I am really afraid. So yeah. All right. Well, these still have 15 more minutes left. We will grab them out at the end, see what they look like. Hopefully, cross my fingers, it worked out. I don't know. I'm either going to be showing you a fail or something fabulous. To go with our fear today. So, all right. Well, friends, whether the salt in your recipes comes from tears or a teaspoon, just remember we baked it out. We'll see you next time.